Hey guys, this is T here, just recording another video. This is the solutions to your practice 2024 factorization test. So here I've written what should be on your cheat sheet. This is all the stuff that's been taught to be covered in the factorization part of your test that we're finishing off. Only 4 things, and written in pretty much the order that you should try them. So you always try common factors first. If there's a common factor in all of the terms of your expression, try to factorize it with common factors first. Second thing to try after you've done that, if there's 2 terms and they're both square numbers, try a difference between 2 squares as long as there's a subtraction between the 2 square numbers. After that, third thing, you try if there's 3 terms, check if it's perfect squares. If you've got 2 square numbers, right, and then the square root of those square numbers times together and times by 2 makes up the remaining term. It can be factorized using the perfect squares. Factorization. And last, if that doesn't work, sum and product or reverse FOIL, or otherwise known as factorizing quadratic trinomials. You try this one. This is the hardest one, but also the most useful. So let's try. Factorize the following expressions. You're not told what to do, so try common factors first. 3 is a common factor in both of these. So it's 3.2.x plus 3.1. What's the biggest chunk in both? 3. So it goes on the outside of the set of brackets. Inside of the set of brackets is what's left over after the 3 has been removed. So you got 2x plus 1. Next one. You've got 2 terms. Difference between 2 squares isn't going to work because they're not both square numbers. So try common factors, always try that first. So the biggest common factor in this is going to be 4d. Why? Because 12 is 3 times by 4. And d squared is d times by d plus 4 times by d. The biggest chunk in both is 4d. So that 4d goes outside of a set of brackets. What's left over after that's been removed is 3d plus, what's left over here? Well, the only thing that you can times something by itself and leave it is 1, so it's going to be 3d plus 1. Next one here. It's going to be 5k, because to get negative 5k, you go negative 1 times by 5 times by k plus 20. What involves 5? With 24 times by 5 times by k. It's k cubed, so k, and k. It's the biggest chunk that appears in all of this. 5k, so that goes on the outside of a set of brackets. What's left over? The negative 1 and the 4k, so 4k squared. This one here. If I write it out in full, 1 plus x squared is equal to 1 plus x times by 1 plus x in brackets. The biggest thing that's in both of these terms is 1 plus x, so that goes on the outside of a set of brackets. And in the set of brackets, it's what's left over, so you've got 6 on the left, take 1 plus x, but you have to be careful. If there's a negative in front of a set of brackets, you need to keep that until you've expanded the negative to everything within the brackets. So you've got the 6 and you've got negative outside the set of brackets, negative 1, and the negative and the positive x are negative x. So that simplifies to what? 6 take 1 is 5 take x. So that is your answer for that one. Should underline these. 7x squared, take 4x. Is there any like terms there? The only like is going to be x. Why? Because it's 7.x. X is equal to 4. Sorry, not equal to. Take 4.x. Biggest chunk that's in both is the x. That goes on the outside of a set of brackets, and you got 7x. Take 4. Underline. Okay, we got 3 terms here, but always try common factors. X cubed is x dot x dot x. 5x squared is 5 dot x dot x. Take 6 dot x. The only common term in all of those is an x. So the x goes outside the set of brackets. What do you have left over? In the first term is x squared. In the second one is 5x. Take 6. So now we have x outside a set of brackets, but we can factorize what's in the set of brackets. You've got 3 terms there. Is it a perfect square? Is it this rule? That's a square number. This is not a square number. That's not. So it's going to have to be sum and product rule. I'm going to rewrite it here. X squared plus 5x takes 6. What are the factors of 6? 1 and 6. 2 and 3. Now, I need a combination of positive and negative that's going to times to get negative 6, but add to get 5x. The only way I'm going to get positive 5x is to add 2 and add 3, so they'd both be positive. So the only way I can do this is negative 1, positive 6. Why? Because negative 1 times by 6 is going to be negative 6, but negative 1 plus 6 is going to be 5x. So negative 1 plus 6, so this factorizes to x. X take 1, x plus 6. This one here, always try common factors first. You see x take 8 and x take 8 in both. So x take 8 goes out the front. What's left over? X plus 5. Underline. That's the first page done. Question 15. Fully factorize using difference of 2 squares. So you're being told here, using difference of 2 squares. And waste time and take time to paste things. 16 is a square number. It's 4 squared. Take 9m squared. Well, 9 is a square number. It's 3 times by 3. And m squared is a square number. It's m times by m. So let's take 3m all squared. So your A is 4, your B is 3m. So this becomes 4 plus 3m, 4 minus 3m, according to the rule. Underline. X cubed, take 81x. You're being told you need to use difference of 2 squares. But that doesn't work for this because this is x to the power of 3. So like I said before, always try common factors first. Because x cubed is x dot x dot x. Take 81.x. Common factor of x in both terms. So that goes on the outside and you've got x squared take 81. Now you'll notice in here, that's difference between 2 squares. Because it's x squared take 9 squared. So your A is x, your B is 9. So this is going to factorize to x plus 9. X minus 9, and don't forget that you've still got the x on the outside of the set of brackets. underline. For the answer, this one looks weird, but you're being told to use difference of two squares, and you'll notice that this is a square number because it's being squared. X plus 7 looks weird, but you're squaring it, so it must be a square number, and 25 is also a square number. So rewrite it to help you. Take 5 squared, so you've got your A is x plus 7, your B is 5. So this factorizes to x plus 7 plus 5, x plus 7 minus 5, x plus 7 plus 5, that's going to be 12. X plus 7 take 5 is going to be plus 2. Underline. Fully factorized using perfect squares factorization. You're meant to remove the highest common factors first. So I was giving you a hint. You might need to do highest common factors first. How do we know that? Well, this first one, 2x squared is not a square number. 50 is not a square number. So try common factors. 2, if I've removed it on the outside, you'll get left with x squared. What do I times 2 by to get 20x? It's plus 10x. What do I times 2 by to get 50, 25? Now you'll see in the brackets, this is perfect squares rule. So I'll get the perfect squares rule. Paste it here. And so what is the situation? A squared. A is x. B is 5. B is 5 because 5 squared is 25. And then is this last one, 2 times A times B. 2 times A is 2x times by 5 is 10x. So that's all good. So this is perfect squares. So not forgetting the 2 out the outside. You've got A is x and B is 5 all squared. Underline. Next one, 3x squared is not a square number, 48 is not a square number, so remove a common factor. 3 goes into all of these, so 3 goes on the outside, x squared. What do I times 3 by to get 24x? 8x. What do I times 3 by to get 48? 16. Now, you have a set of brackets. A is x. B, what do I times by itself to get 16? 4. 2 lots of A, lots of B. 2 times A is 2x, times by 4, 8x. So that fits perfect squares. So don't forget the 3, which is still on the outside. It's going to be x plus 4 all squared. That's question 16 done. Question 17, fully factorize the following. I think these are the last 3 questions. Using the most appropriate factorization method, covered this term. So using any of the rules. Are there any common factors? There's no x in 18, so not common factors. Are there only 2 terms? No, so it's not going to be difference between 2 squares. Is 18 a square number? No, even though this is, so it's not going to be perfect square. So sum and product. What are the factors of 18? 1 and 18, 2 and 9, 3 and 6. The next one is 6 and 3, so we're done here. Is 1 and 18 ever going to give us 7x? No. Is 2 and 9? Yes. So if I have negative 2 plus 9, I'm going to get positive 7, which is what we want. And negative 2 times by 9 is negative 18. So this is going to factorize to x take 2, which is a, and x plus 9, which is b. Underline. This one, always try common factors. There's a common factor of 3 in all of these, so remove 3, put it out the front. What do I times 3 by to get negative 9x, negative 3x? What do I times 3 by to get negative 30, negative 10? Let's try to factorize this. X squared is a well, it's not going to be difference between two squares. There's three terms. That's the first thing you should try. It's not going to be perfect squares because negative 10 is not a square number. So sum and product rule. 1 and 10, 2 and 5. That's it. I'm not going to get 9 or negative 9 with 2 and 5. It's going to be with 1 and 10. 1 take 10 is going to give you negative 9. So this will factorize to, don't forget the 3 out the front, x plus 1, x minus 10. No, actually, sorry, that's wrong. I need negative 3. I was looking at this first. My bad. So you're going to make mistakes. I was looking at the original question. I need to get negative 3x. I need to get negative 3x, not negative 9. So how do I get negative 3? It's going to be 2 take 5. So that's going to be my A and B. So don't forget the 3 out the front. It's going to be x plus 2, x minus 5, and 2 times by negative 5 is also going to be negative 10, which is what I want there. Oh, I noticed that. It was looking weird at the end there. So don't forget the 3 out the front. 3, x plus 2, x minus 5. And last one, 3 terms. Common factors, 2 is going to be a common factor. So remove 2 at the front. 2 lots of 32 is going to be 64. Negative x squared plus 4x. This doesn't look like the order we normally do, so let's rearrange it. Negative x squared plus 4x plus 32. We don't have any rule that lets you factorize when it's negative x squared. So I'm going to have to remove another factor. I'm going to remove negative 1 from this. So if I remove negative 1 from this, it becomes 2 times by negative 1 is the factor on the outside. So you're going to be left with x squared. What do I times negative 1 by to get positive 4x? Negative 4x. What do I times negative 1 by to get positive 32? Negative 32. What do we have to do with this? 2 times by negative 1 is negative 2 is on the outside. X squared, take 4x, take 32. Factorize this now. 32 isn't a square number. It's not 2 terms, so this is going to be sum and product rule. 1 and 32, 2 and 16. 4 and 8. Next one's 8 and 4, so we'll stop there. 1 and 32 will never get 4. 2 and 16 will never get 4. 4 and 8 will. I need negative 4, so 4 take 8 will probably work, and 4 times by negative 8 will be negative 32. So what does this factorize to? Negative 2 on the outside, x plus 4, x take 8. So that is your solutions to the factorization part of the test. Hopefully that helps you out. Sorry for a little pause on this one, but you can see how it happened. I was looking at this 9 when really I'd factorized it to get the negative 3, but I've got the right answer there now. So hopefully that helps you out, and see you in the next video.